second.
Right? I mean, we are part of all that is and ever will be, and we never die. It's like there is no end to the game, right? Now, I know what you were saying earlier about there being, maybe a paradise. I mean, the fact is that once you go through the uncomfortable awakening in this lifetime, because this will be the last lifetime that you will experience the inverted matrix, even if you are one that hasn't chose to fully wake up in this lifetime, you would then still evolve in an organic 3D. We are done with the inversion, but we've only known the inversion for this entire lifetime. Right. So therefore, there's going to be more in the next 3 years. There's going to be, like, we thought it looked weird when the quote unquote pandemic first started. And we thought that things looked divisive, and we thought that things looked weird with the quote unquote war that's going on, whether it's Ukraine, Russia, whatever the media wants to make all of that shit be. Right. Not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that it's there. Whatever it is, it's all backwards.
But in my simulation, it's all just horseshit.
It is now, and so the horseshit is going to increase, and it's going to get.
You ship me off to the Ukraine, all of a sudden it might be in reality, and as long as they don't send any missiles over here, to me, I look at it as part of the simulation that I don't want to look at, because
you don't need to.
Because I don't know what's real about it and what isn't, because half the time the media is lying to you, and what's on the radio and what's on TV is just imaginary anyway to me.
If you want proof of what I'm saying, that there is no more inverted matrix, dude, there are people, you can say that you are one's conservative and one is liberal. By the way, I've never been political at all, and I only aligned because I got really aligned to the Trump side of things for a while. Which I mean, I'm going to say if I had to vote now, I actually would. I wouldn't even vote, because to me, if I'm voting, I'm actually powering the inverted matrix, right? And it is going to go away. And if you want proof, the proof is I'm hearing this all the time from people that are on both sides of the aisle, if you want to look at it, going, dude, I don't listen to the news anymore, because the news is shit. The news is like, it makes me feel, I hear people talking and waking up all the time about they're literally talking about how people are lying to them everywhere, right? And it's like, talking the other day, somebody that I really respect was talking about, climate change. He was joking about people saying that climate change isn't real. And in a way, it is funny, because climate change has always been real. It's just been told to us that it's something different than it actually is.
Exactly.
We have had climate change for a long time. It's this current media that we're in that tries to make it something that it is not.
Exactly. Like the climate change thing, I have to say one thing about that on here, that because we do have a thing at the front of the show that always says the views of ours, but here's the views. The views is that climate change is fucking as real as it gets.
Well,
now, are we causing it? Now that's the question. That's the big elephant in the room.
People are not grasping the fact that Gaia is a literally living being who can take care of herself and is taking care of herself. And we are going to have some earth changes that are going to really, this is part of what I'm going to say, that we're going to have a few years coming up ahead of us that are going to be really challenging. It is not all butterflies and roses. I mean, I can talk about how we are light and how we really are source and truly, I mean, we are heading into what the Bible would have talked about being the promised land, right? I mean, we are headed into we are in the golden age now, but we're watching the end cycle play out, and we still have some more time to go as people start really waking up. And if you want to talk about very chaotic, there are many people waking up from their religious programming, from what they had when they were children, not just religious, but all kinds of programming, corporate programming, whatever has told them that you have to be uncomfortable to then feel good. You have to have something bad to have something good. This is eventually going to go away, and there won't be. Living will just be so much more enjoyable, because you won't have to be on a roller coaster. But what this all boils down to is the internal work, right? And we can talk about all the stuff out here. We can talk about the Earth was a prison planet, or we can go as far as to say the Earth is a prison planet and it's hard to be alive, all the way to, hey, we're source and everything is wonderful. But in between is doing the personal work, right? Is facing things. So one of the big ones for me recently, and I mean, I've been doing I've been doing really deep personal work for the last year and a half. I was doing it before that, but in the last year and a half, like really getting into it. And so a perfect example is I am calling these experiences into my life. And as I'm calling these experiences in, it becomes very clear to me that I'm dealing with something did I have abandonment issues from when I was younger? Because that's a hot topic, by the way. People use that. Oh, do you have abandonment issues? And it's like, well, I don't know. What is it? So I had a facilitator from a group that I do my personal mastery work with called MTVO, Master of the Void organization. And my facilitator, Kyle, I hit her up and I said, hey, look, here's what I'm going through right now. Can you help me kind of line this out? You know, bear with me for a minute. Here's everything that's going on. And she comes back. She's like, absolutely. Here is like 8 different topics for you to think about. And, you know, and she's tapping into my field, right? When she's doing this and she's getting some information that's coming from my field that I'm a little bit muddied up on. And then she says, you look at these 8 things. And whichever one of these resonates the most with you, that's the one that you really, really lock in on. And of course, I went through and at first, I thought it was one subject. I spent a couple of days on it. And then all of a sudden, it just became crystal clear. I can't tell you exactly how it happened. It just became really clear that what I was dealing with was rejection. And I've been dealing with rejection since actually I have another.
You would never guess in a million years, though, because you're a confident, very solid man.